reminding me. Hello. So we're just going to give people a little time to come in, ladies. We'll give people a couple minutes and then we will get started. So I'm just going to say 2 minutes. It's 9:01. And before I get started, if you are catching this replay, be sure to comment. Be sure to join the conversation. And I see that one person's there. Hey, how are you today or tonight? I can't see who you are, but I will in just a minute. If you give me a second, it should come up. But we have very interesting conversation tonight. And as I was saying, if you are on Team Replay, make sure you watch this video. You're going to love this one tonight. I have two very special guests here. And make sure you like if you're not a member of the Geeky Girls Journal family. Make sure you subscribe. That's very important. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of this goodness, all of this goodness over here, these conversations. Okay, ladies, so we have this goodness.
This goodness.
All of this goodness over here.
So good.
If you are here, say something in the chat so that I can acknowledge you and say hello. Say, welcome to the show. So welcome to the show. Oh, if you two that are here outside of us, if you see, I put a survey up, if you don't mind answering that question, if you have time, that I greatly appreciate it. I'm not sure why I'm not seeing comments right now. Do you two see any comments?
I don't know what a survey is either.
The survey, I placed it in YouTube. So those people who are coming in through YouTube, they can see it. YouTube, if you go on your cell phone, you'll be able to see it. So you three, I'm glad to see you in the building. We are going to start in 1 minute. We're trying to give people a little time to come in because this was not a last minute decision, but it was. You all know how I am with pop-ups. Like, I'll pop up on you. Hey, girl. Hey, Jane. Yeah, pop-ups are fun. I live for a pop-up, and I'm just glad that you all are here. You 4, 5 are here to join us tonight because we have a great topic. And if you want, let me ask you a question. Think about your 16-year-old self. And if you can type something in the chat, something about your 16-year-old self that you would have wanted to do differently. What would you have wanted to do differently as the 16-year-old version of you? If you could go back in time, if I say, hey, you're 16-year-old today, what would you want to do? What would you want to change? If you don't want to change anything, just say, I wouldn't change anything. So we're going to give you all a little bit of time to answer that question because I know this conversation is going to be good. Invite your friends. If you share it out. Invite your family. Invite your neighbor, whoever. Invite everybody. Because we want to have a really good conversation. And Adrian is laughing at me. What are you saying, Adrian? Adrian, it's hard for me to say.
It will be interesting because you and I were, when I was 16, you were 17, we were still in high school, so we were cutting up. So,
I know. We were cutting up, you guys. Jamie, Jamie, you are the moderator right now. I see 4 people in the bushes, and Jamie, you're showing your face. And you know what? Thank you for showing your face because I know you're here and I can talk to you. The other 5, I'm so glad you're here. You're in the bushes, or if you're just listening and driving, I know that happens a lot, or whatever you're doing. Chime in however you can, whenever you want, because this should be very engaging. This topic, I believe, should be very engaging. So Jamie says hi first to everybody. She's saying hi, and Jamie says, I would have been more upfront with people instead of being Jamie, that is actually in my notes. So thank you for jumping in my mind right now. I mean, because you just literally, that's why I wanted you all to say something in the chat because we're going to address that one. That one came up. I was just trying to think of random things. I wrote 2 things down really quickly because I didn't have a whole lot of time. So what we're going to do is
probably started earlier, and then she probably got really smart and hit with it when she was like in her younger 20s. Because Jamie, I don't think I was a people pleaser, but I did become one when I was older.
You know what? Yeah, we're going to explore that. We're definitely going to explore that one. So before we do that, I just want to introduce you all to my lovely, lovely guests. One of them to my, what is she? To your left or my right or her left, who's ever left, right? In the middle. We'll just call her the center. In the middle. She's in the middle. She's a middle child for tonight. Her name is.
Oh. Okay, I'm the middle child tonight. I am. Oh, no.
She is
so
the middle,
special.
and her name is
Middle. Oh,
the
Adrian Brody.
Adrian Brody. She's not, new here.
I've
You
been
all
here
remember
before. Y'all know me. Y'all
she's
know
been
me.
here before, so if you have questions for her, she'll answer. This is a family tonight. We're doing some family talking, having a conversation. I want you to kick your legs up. Let's just talk. Whatever it is that you want to say, put it in a chat because we'll get to that. And just get comfortable. And I want you to really, really think about you as a teenager, a 16-year-old. I mean, you can even do 15, 16, 17, that range. But think about you and some of the things that you would have liked to do differently, and think about you. Just at 16. So the person right next to the center, to the middle child is Tamika. So she is my other sister, you all. This is my sister in the middle, but that is my sister from another mother. We are sisters
Sisters
bound.
with Voices, the bootleg version.
I say sisters with voices. Sisters with voices, the bootleg version. But you're not gonna get a song out of me.
The bootleg version.
The bootleg version. So Heather Hunter is also in the building. She said, "Tell myself to calm down." Whoa, you know what? I should be writing these things down so that I can make sure we get back to them. So I'm gonna say, "Calm down."
Mm-hmm.
That is a good one, Heather Hunter Johnson. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing, Jamie, because you both gave us some good things to talk about.
Yeah.
And let's see, we have Jamie. She said, "I'm going to share real quick." Oh, thank you, Jamie. Yeah, share us out, Heather. If you have the ability to share, feel free to share because we like all the people. We love all the people, and we just want everybody to be here and enjoy this chat. So we can get started. Adrian, or Tamika, you can just chime in you want. So what do you all think? Jamie already said one of the things that I wanted to say. So we'll start with what she said, and then we can go into what Heather Hunter Johnson said. Thank you, Jamie. I see you. She's back. Tay Weezy, the champ, is here. Okay, Tay Weezy, I want you to think about, you and Heather already answered the question, but Tay Weezy, I see, as far as I can see, you're the only male in the building. So tell us how were you at 16? You don't need to get graphic, Tay Weezy. I mean, just tell us, you were 16. Yeah. If I am TMI though, so just remember, this is a show that children may be viewing later. And I'm not just addressing Tay Weezy. I'm just saying anybody who comes in. This is something for parents and for children. So just tell us what would you do differently if I said you're 16 right now? What would you do differently as a 16-year-old or 15, 16, 17, that area? Tell us what you do differently, and we're going to talk about it, all of it. You all jump in as you see fit. Yeah, I see you, Tay. I see you, Frank G, and I'm doing this. Frank G is in the house. Tay Weezy is laughing.
I did not know Frank G.
Yeah, she knows Frank G. Yeah, Frank G. That's Frank. So we'll start. So we're going to start with Jamie. Ladies, I saw you shaking your head when Jamie made that comment about people pleasing. What's your take on that, Adrian? Like, how do you feel about being? I mean, you said that you weren't a people pleaser at 16, and would you like to elaborate on that a little bit? We can start right there. That's a good starting point.
I know. Yeah, I was a people pleaser after my teenage years. So so it did come. It did come at a certain point in my life. But at 16, I was, oh man, I
You see
was.
what Frank G said? I wouldn't be 16 years old these days.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to go back to 16, but man, I had a mouth on me, didn't I? I had a mouth on me.
She did.
Yeah, I don't think I was pleasing too many people then. I was more of a more of a headache. But a nice one. I had no filter. I had no filter then. So
She,
yeah, right?
yeah, I can attest to that. She did have a mouth on her. In fact, my brother and I used to shake our heads sometimes when she would say things. We'd just be like, "Oh my," like, "Oh, we are
Yeah.
in trouble," or she's in trouble, and we might be in trouble because we associated with her. But I think for
Yeah.
you and I, Adrian, I think the roles kind of switched. I wouldn't necessarily say I was a people
Yeah.
pleaser, but I feel like, do you feel like they kind of switched? Because
Yeah.
I know I should probably let Tamika go because Adrian said something. I just want to piggyback on what she said. Then we'll let Tamika go because she's quietly waiting over there, working on her
Yes.
listening skills, which I should be doing. But Adrian was more out where I think I held things in more. I didn't really um, stir things up a whole lot. And if I did, I was doing things in silence. Like I wasn't really that one that's telling what I'm doing, where she definitely wasn't pleased. She said, spoke her mind. And I feel like I was more of a people pleaser in that space when I was that age, because I didn't really want to ruffle a whole lot of feathers, because I think I stayed under the radar pretty well. That's what it was. I
Yeah,
flew
you
under
did.
the radar. I'm a middle child, so I was really good at doing that. So um, I didn't, like I said, I didn't ruffle too many feathers. If I disagreed with somebody, yeah, I would tell them that. But I liked the fact that I thought most people liked me, or everybody liked me, and if they didn't, I don't know why they didn't, because I was a likable person at that age. I don't know. I got along pretty well in high school. Adrian did too, but we just had a different approach. Where
Yeah,
yeah, I think our approach was just different.
yeah,
I held it in more. I watched what I said, because I was thinking about the repercussions. Not that she wasn't, but I think I was just a little bit more calculated. I don't know. Maybe
yeah.
she just didn't care. She
I,
whatever
I
she
was
thought.
I was just less cautious. I don't know. Yeah, I couldn't control myself. I couldn't what I thought, it just kind of came out and I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that. And it was too late though. It was already out. So
It was already out.
right.
It was
So yeah, it was one of those things. But dang it. I wish that I would have known then that during this moment it's not as serious as I think it is. Because at that age, you think that everything is like a big deal at the moment.
Mhm.
Like, right? Like everything that's going on, like the people who you're surrounding yourself by, like people who you thought were like um influence at the school, like influencers. Yes,
influential.
influencers
Yeah.
at the time. And you're like, man, like I really had, like you really I put so much into certain things. And now, looking back, it's like it wasn't even a big deal at all. Like it was, I mean, now high school is a blur. It's like it doesn't really, you don't even think about it because you have so much more of the rest of your time, rest of your years ahead, that high school is like, oh, can't see a little snippet. It's like just a little snippet. But it doesn't feel that way at the time. At 16, you think that everything that's going on is important. What you think, Mika? Tamika? Oh,
You can call me Mika. That's fine. Uh, 16. So I think that's like right around when I met y'all.
Yes.
I was mean. I was so angry. I don't know why. I was just always upset. I felt like nothing was going my way and it like the world was ending. Things still don't go my way all the time and now it's fine, right? Like so I would tell myself it's going to be okay. It's fine. It's not a big deal. It'll pass. Um I would tell myself I don't love that boy.
That's another.
He is not forever. And so I did a lot. There was a lot happening.
Nika, were you 16 when we met you?
Uh-huh.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't even
Yes.
realize you were 16. Aw.
I was 16 in trouble over a boy. Remember? We
But
went
so
Yes, that's right. And then I was like, "Oh, who's messing with my little sister?" Mika was like my little baby, but we're
yes,
not
you
really,
would.
not even that big of an age gap. Well, it did seem that way
it
then.
seemed like that at the time.
Yeah, it did. It did seem that way
Yeah.
then.
Now I'm catching up.
Oh yes. The age
Not
gap
hard to.
tends to do that. But yeah, you both bring up a good point. At 16, you think that your world is crumbling sometimes. You
Mhm.
can't really differentiate something that's minute, and something
Yeah.
that you should actually be giving your attention.
Mhm.
And if I could tell my 16-year-old self, you both said the two things that I would tell myself, but also, you know, um, I like what Heather Hunter said, calm down, as well, because that kind of
Hmm.
goes into what you were talking about. If you could just calm down, and if you could just see ahead, just to try to think about what your next step would be or what could happen in the future, if that's such a thing, then you wouldn't worry about what's happening in that present moment, because it blows over. usually at 16. I mean, it's nothing major. You're not paying any bills. You don't have a career. Your parents are providing things for you. The only thing you really have to do at that age is show up for school, show up, and just experience life and, roll with the punches. And I know I'm saying this as a 40-something-year-old now, but when you're 16 and when you're in your teenage years, you know, it's kind of difficult when you're in that moment to just stop and take a deep breath and think about, what's happening and how you could change things. So I want to see what Frank G said. He says, I was more into school at 16 and having fun with my friends. What do you two think about that?
Oh, we were having fun.
I was having fun. I had a good
time. Yeah, Frank. We could all agree to that. We were definitely having fun.
For us, for Andrea and I, we had fun in church, right? Because we had to be there like 7 days a week.
Oh yeah.
Okay, 5. But it seemed like
5. It's 7 sometimes. 5, 6, 7.
Right? It was either church, band, pom poms for her.
Sister, yeah, you are here. We can hear you, but your face looks distorted a little bit. But if you're okay with that, I am.
Is that better? No? Oh, man.
It's all right. Maybe move it over to, okay, maybe that's a little bit better. Well, I mean, you can still talk because we can hear you.
You can hear me?
Yes.
Is that better?
It's coming around.
That's not better?
No. Just, talk, and maybe because you were clear before, so I'm not sure if it's just something that happened or what, but go ahead because the people, the people are listening. So, and plus I'm on a timer. Oh, I forgot, everybody, I put myself on a timer tonight. So in 50, I gave myself 50 minutes, a whole hour. So we're gonna make sure we shut this thing down at 10, right? Or I mean a little bit before 10, so we can take questions, answers, whatever you all want to do, jump in, however. So go ahead, Adrienne. I'll cut you off.
Okay. Can you hear me? You can hear me well?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Can you see me?
Yeah, you're just kind of frozen sometimes.
Okay.
And sometimes you're not.
I'll talk anyway. So maybe my face will get better. I don't know. But I was saying, so Andrea and I, at 16, or I'm going by, I was 16, she was 17. We were either in band, at church, or at school. So we were like 3 spots. That's all we had approval to go to. We could only go to those 3 places, right? But we had so much fun.
We made the best out of the situation. Let's just say that.
Like it was just we always had something going on at the school, something going on at church, and that really kept us busy. And you would think, okay, growing up in church, like how fun could that be? But it's action that goes on at the church.
Oh yes, there is action at the church.
Right, it's action at the church.
There is action.
Who go to church, y'all know it's action at the church.
There is action at the church. I can definitely say that. Adrienne, if you're finished, I wanted to bring something to your attention really quickly. I'm going to go through the comments and then you'll hear it when I say something. But hold that thought, Tamika. If you want to say something, just try to remember what it is. I'll try to get through this. Official Jamia, I'm not saying all that. Jamia says, my parents got a divorce when I turned 16, so I was trying to make everyone happy. Yes, that happens. My parents didn't get a divorce, but I can see why you would try to make everybody happy to kind of, be the mediator and just to bring a good time. Plus, you're funny, Jamie. I'm sure you were telling all type of jokes and saying things, or not. I don't know if you say jokes during a divorce, but maybe trying to say things to kind of humor everybody to make the situation a little bit better. Hey, fabulous sis, I see you. Tayweezy speaking. I'm trying to get to this comment. Adrienne, do you see this? We have someone.
Yes, what up, boo?
What up? That's her boo thing.
That's my boo.
Everybody. That's my brother. Hey, welcome, brother. Frank G says, honestly, when I was 16, I didn't care about the future. I wish I did. That's something else, Frank G. I don't know. I know that you bring up a good point, and I'm glad that you said it because I don't think a lot of 16-year-olds, I'm trying to choose my words carefully because I don't want all 16-year-olds to think that I'm talking about them, but some 16-year-olds could probably relate to what you're saying. And I think it's because as a 16-year-old, you're thinking about now. You're thinking about the now. You don't really think about the future a lot of times. Some people do, a lot of them do, but some don't really think about, what's going to happen in the future. Is what can I have now? I want instant gratification. And not just 16-year-olds. I see this kind of across the board with younger people. So I don't know. I just wanted to bring that point to light, what you were saying, because it's very important. And then some of them, you do have some 16-year-olds that are really planned, that are focused, that know what they want to do. And they have tunnel vision and they're going for it. I would have to say, like, two of my daughters, well, the one that just graduated and my other one, sometimes they're really focused and I'm like, okay, you need to take a step back because they're more, this is what I want to do. I'm doing da, 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 da. It just seems like it's just a whole lot going on at one time. And sometimes you got to pull them back. Adrian, you look like you had something to say.
Yeah. Can you see me clearly now?
No, but Dakota Brody says,
what did you say?
He says, you're going to see Adrian may need to switch the spectrum.
Tell him to come up here and help me with this.
Come help your other half. Help her out. And Frank G is laughing. Frank G and Jamie is speaking to everybody. I'm just trying to catch up with the comments. Hi, Tamika. I don't see you here, but I see that you're here because of the chat. So welcome in. Okay, Frank G said it was school and church for me too. Yeah, Frank G, see, you can relate to that. Church was really big in our household, so much so that my mother said, you're going to church. I'll give you an example. I think Adrian may have froze. I don't know. No, she's back. But when we worked at McDonald's, yes, I worked at McDonald's. Can I take your order, please? I didn't do that. Adrian did. She was a cashier and worked at the drive-thru. I didn't want that job because I didn't really want to deal with the customers. I didn't want to deal with the customers. I didn't want to deal with rude people. So I like to work in the back where I was able to make the fries and flip the burgers and stuff like that. So I'm just saying this to give you all an example of what we're talking about. When we were around that age too, weren't we? 16, 17, 15, 16, 17. And this is how much we were in the church. We got a job. My mother said the stipulation for us working, Adrian, she gonna tell y'all this is the truth. The stipulation for us having a job was that we couldn't what?
We could not work on Sundays.
We could not work on Sundays.
That's the main church day.
That's the main church day. We went to church also on Wednesday for Bible study. We went on, was it Thursday or Friday for choir practice?
Choir rehearsal.
Choir rehearsal. Then we did youth events. Then we also went to like the nursing home to do that on Saturdays. But my mother said, Sunday is the Lord's day. You will not work. And I mean, you will not work. I don't care what happens. So Adrian and I got into this hiccup at work. I can't remember what happened. It wasn't our fault, but our boss knew because when we interviewed, we said, we can't work on a Sunday. And this is our 16-year-old self telling an adult this. We can't work on Sunday, but if you put in the schedule that we're off every Sunday, we have no problems. Well, she went in and put us in anyway, so we had to work on Sunday. So it just so happened to coincide with the time frame that we were sick of working at McDonald's anyway. We were at church. We quit. And we got real bold about it. This was one of the things she's talking about. And they called us and said, and the lady told us, the manager, oh, you're coming in today. And we said, no, we're not. And we both knew that we would not have to go because our mother said firmly, you're not working. I don't care what happens. So we knew that we had the power to just say no, and we quit. So guess what we did? Who thinks they know is in the comment section? We rolled out. We called the lady and she was so upset. She said, we quit. And we said it with authority. We quit. We lost the shit.
We lost her.
We said it with authority. We said it with our chest. You know how y'all say something, you like, I had so much confidence. I don't care what the person says over there. That's how we did. We were like, we quit. Yeah, you heard us. We quit. And so the lady said, oh, if you quit, you might as well. No, if you don't come in today, which was a Sunday, if you don't come in today, you might as well, what did she tell us? You might as well turn your uniform in. We were like, okay, well, we'll be there to turn our uniform in today. In fact, give us about 20 minutes. We'll be there and we'll get our check. So we had the confidence to say it because we knew we had backing, but that's another story for another day, y'all. So Adrian's back. So give me a second, y'all. I'm gonna pour her back in. And if anybody has, I love the way you are engaging in the comment section. It keeps us going. So thank you very much for your interaction. So Frank G, he was a church boy. We're church girls. All of us up here on this panel, church girls. Jamie said, I did. I think she said that probably 10 minutes ago. 5 minutes ago. Heather Hunter
Am I
Johnson
better?
said, love official. Okay. Um, it seems like since you switched sides, you may just a tad. I mean, we can see your facial
Really?
features a little bit better, so don't worry about it.
You're fine. You're perfect. It's fine.
Making it so
That was
much
me
better.
this time. Am I back? Tamika's laughing. Oh, Frank, we don't want that to happen again, do we? Tamika, are you there?
I'm right here.
Uh-oh. Okay. Can you all hear and see me or not?
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Audience, can you all
you look
hear
a
and
little
see
bit
me? I feel
distorted.
like I'm in
We can see you.
am I the invisible person?
We can hear you and see
I hear
you.
me. Oh, you
Can't
can
hear
see
us
me?
and hear you. Both.
Okay, great.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. Now we can't.
Now she's gone.
And now
What's
she's
going on
gone.
tonight? This is not good. Not good, Mika.
I guess I won't be complaining about Spectrum anymore because they are pulling me through right now.
How did we lose her? Oh man, oh man.
Am I back?
Yes.
Yeah, you back. Mika says she is not complaining about Spectrum anymore.
I won't talk about
I'm
them
not
no more.
sure.
Not one more time. I'm gonna pay them one time and everything.
Look, we listen. We don't want to save you your first time. I can hear you, Adrian Brody. Can everybody hear me? Hey, listen. If
Yeah,
you
we
all can hear us in the chat, do us a favor. Oh, you can't? Okay, cool. Well, we're gonna do this. Uh-oh.
I'm here.
I'm here. Okay. Yes, I think we can all hear each other. Can you all? Okay, they said we can. Hey, be a cookie. Zion said we can hear you. So Frank G, I thought this was going to be a repeat when that happened. I was getting nervous, Frank, because I can't lose you. I thought, here we go again. And see, that's why Frank G was laughing. Oh, let me welcome Lovely's Samira and thank you for coming in. Dakota Brody was laughing at us. Oh, Heather Hunter Johnson said she could hear all three of us. Thank you. Oh, Heather Hunter Johnson also said, look, technical support. Yeah, we need the IT person because I'm not it. Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm going to try to catch up because I think AA and 1K. Adrian, we can see you well enough. It's clear. I don't know what happened.
Okay, never mind.
Okay. Hello, Be a Cookie says hello. Welcome in, Be a Cookie. Welcome in, ELC. Welcome in, Dakota Brody. Heather Hunter, Jamie said yes, they can hear and see us. Wonderful. Frank G's laughing. Heather Hunter. Oh, what happened? Okay, Heather says she can hear all three of us. That's awesome. Okay, and we're going to get back to the conversation. Everybody say yes, they can hear us. I'll just go through these conversations. Zion says we can hear you. All right, not anymore. Just kidding. Hey, Derek's Journey. Great to see you in the building. He's laughing. Lovely, Samira. And we're going to just, yes, Frank. Yes. Be a Cookie says we can. They can hear us. But look, Frank G, listen, he is no stranger to what just happened.
I gotta ask Frank G, was his church popping like ours was back in the day?
Yeah, Frank, let us know in the chat.
16 at church. I wonder if we all were cutting up at 16 at church. It probably was the thing.
But we all cutting up in the Lord's house. Well, when we say cutting up, we weren't doing anything illegal. We were just having a good time, for Jesus. We were just having a good time for Jesus. You know what? Because sometimes, this is, and I know I'm getting off topic a little bit, but when you're in a church and you're a young person, you're trying to find an outlet and you're trying to find other people that can relate to the things that you're doing. And sometimes, not every church has, and I'm not saying our old church because we had activities, but a lot of times not every church caters to that younger crowd. And then they just feel like they have to find something other, something else to do outside of what? Okay, you can get it. Something else to do. Sorry, y'all, that's my daughter. They had to find something else to do outside of, whatever they had planned for the children. Tamika, I love your hair. Tamika's
no.
Wee's World said, "I love your hair."
Tamika, she was right tonight. She got it right.
Wee's World loves your hair. Tamika.
We did not. Huh. Oh, I did.
Oh yeah, Tamika got it. Yes, you did. Tamika, Geeky Girls have an iPhone. I don't. Tay Weezy, we're not doing that today. You know I do not have an iPhone. They have iPhones. I don't have an iPhone.
She is not part of the iPhone community, but we love her anyway.
I have an iPhone. It is the best.
It is.
I do not do iPhones, and you no, I do not. Where is Jay Jordan? Because he will tell you all.
That's why we can't FaceTime her.
Yes, I'm not part of the iPhone family.
So annoying.
Okay, so
okay,
ladies, the Jay Jordan is in here, Adrian.
Oh,
I'm not using the old laptop, Jay Jordan. and I'm glad you're here though, Jay Jordan. But we're gonna get back to the topic. I'm sorry, I'll put up comments as we're talking because we brought up some good points, ladies. The first thing we said, you don't have to be a people pleaser. So if you all in the chat have something to add to that, feel free to do it. Do you feel like you were a people pleaser when you were 16? What would you do differently? Would you still please people if at this age, or would you just tell people, kick rocks? I don't want to say it that way, but would you just tell them whatever it is that you're feeling at that moment, or would you still try to, do everything in a manner that you're trying to make them happy? You know what? That's something we can talk about. With the people pleasing thing, those of us or those of you in the chat that said that you did try to people please, if you did it differently, do you feel that you, instead of people pleasing, you would instead just tell that person exactly how you feel and just let them deal with their emotions and their feelings? Or would you say what you had to say in a polite way? I mean, because you don't have to be nasty every time you say something, or would you just kind of, I guess a better question is, how would you confront the situation? Would you please that person, or would you think more about yourself? Because I think that a lot of times some of us are so focused on making that other person happy that you're not considering your own feelings. You're not considering your own wants, your own desires, for whatever reason. Maybe you feel like you'll hurt that person's feelings, or maybe you'll feel like they'll no longer be your friend if you tell them exactly what you're thinking, or maybe you feel like they'll no longer want to be a part of your life for whatever reason. So would you risk just saying whatever it is on your mind, or would you still just kind of say, all right, I prefer not to address the situation and people please, just to keep that friend or to keep that boyfriend or whomever or whatever. So I don't know, that might have been a complex question, but would you remain a people pleaser basically, or would you try to just kind of skim over the surface and say, I don't want to ruffle anybody's feathers, so I'm going to just go along with it? I don't know. And while we're there, Lovely Samir says, when I was 16, I would take the time to grieve my mom and listen to the red flags. Oh, sorry to hear that, Samira, that you lost your mom and you would listen to the red flags. Can you elaborate on the red flags, like the red flags when it comes to what you were doing at age 16? Just elaborate just a little bit if you can. Derek's Journey says, if I could go back to 16, I would definitely tell myself a few things. Like what, Derek, if you don't mind sharing? Just so, one or two things in that chat. We're going to come back to you. And in the meantime, we're going to go to Frank G's comment.
What I was going to say? I was sitting here thinking while you were talking that one of the things I would have told my 16-year-old self is to focus more on my natural gifts that I had, because I think at that age, like you think about us as parents, when you look at your kids, like around that age, you see things that they naturally do, they're naturally aware of, and they naturally do well. And you try to invest in that gift that you see that they have. When they're that age, you're like, man, you try to really, encourage them to do more of that or to go beyond that. And at 16, I felt like there were a lot of things that I was doing, like, kind of, testing, different kind of activities and doing different things, and creatively doing things. But I think I stepped away from a lot of those things. And it could have been something now, I don't know, because at that time, I thought it was just Adrian being Adrian, and I wasn't necessarily thinking it was a big deal. But now looking back, I was like, whoa, I used to do this, and that back when I was, that age, and now I no longer do it. But I loved doing it at 16, and I'm not saying that all of the things that I did at 16 that I noticed were probably gifts that I'm not doing anymore, because there are some things that did just stick with me. But there were other things too that I could have maybe invested more time in, because, for example, I see different things in my kids right now, and I'll just say more so my 17-year-old. I see things in all three of my kids. But since we're talking about the age of 16, I'll go to my 17-year-old, and I see natural abilities and gifts that she has. And she's really tapped into it. She's really tapped into it, and she pursues it, and she learns more about it. She takes classes on it, and she wants to go further. She wants to further her education in it. I'm just like, dang, like you really got it together. At 16, I wasn't thinking that. I was just like, oh yeah, I'm doing this, and that, but no big deal. It's nothing big. I do it all the time. But things that we do all the time naturally are gifts that we have, but we don't think about it. Well, I didn't think about it that way then at age 16. Y'all agree?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I agree. Exactly. I agree with everything you just said. I was just listening, working on my listening skills, waiting for
Right.
finish.
You were listening.
I agree with everything. Oh, I was listening. I was trying to listen, trying to focus and zoom in, but I agree with that. And I think also at that age, and Tamika, I'll let you go if you had something to say, but also at that age, do you feel like you were more willing to jump in and do different things? Because really at that age, like I was saying before, you have nothing to lose. I mean, you don't have any bills to pay, and people are funding whatever it is that you want to do. So you have the ability to jump into things creatively and say, hey, I want to do this, I'm going to try that. I think about my 16-year-old right now. She's definitely tried a whole lot of different things. I mean, we can name them all, but playing the violin, playing the keyboard, sewing. And look, she knows a lot of it, trying to sew. I mean, it's just this gymnastics. It's just so many different
You were
things.
A gymnast?
And I look, see, and that's her.
Hold on, who was a gymnast?
Sky was a gymnast for a minute. No, not me. I'm talking about the 16-year-old right now. Yeah, and I just look at her, and I
was about to say, hold on.
When did that happen?
She was. I don't
know what though. Adrian, if you think about it, we did do gymnastics for a minute, didn't we?
Gymnastics. Like
that's a month. For a month, then we just did enough. That was over.
Something like that. I don't know.
I think when we had to jump off that balance beam, we were like, okay, that's enough.
Maybe it was longer than a month. I can't remember.
Yeah, it was over the summer. We both did it. It was something for my parents to put us in and keep us busy. That was another thing. So Frank G said he was cutting up all the time. Lovely Smear says we would make jokes of everyone, especially in choir rehearsal. Oh my goodness, we will not talk about that. We did rehearsal. The choir stand was where you really acted up. And even when you were singing on Sunday, you could still whisper to the person next to you in between the note and say something.
So it was always someone in the choir that was off key.
Oh, Tay Weezy did not say that.
They were singing their key. No, let me stop.
I'm not going to. iPhones are the see. I'm just going to go right past all these iPhone comments. So if you put one in there, don't even worry about it, because I'm not showing it. You all can see it. Y'all, you see? Wait, hold up. Y'all iPhones, put them here. Oh, okay. Yeah. Tay, I agree. iPhone users, put them right there. You see what he did?
No, that's not true.
And the Jay Jordan is taking up for Jamie. He agrees with her. Derek's Journey says, I have to admit, I used to hold a lot back then and now. I don't. So that's one thing I would have changed. Okay, let me make sure. I have to admit, I used to hold a lot back then and now I don't. So that's one thing I would have changed. Oh, okay, that's one thing you would have changed. Okay. That's good. Anything you like to add, me, while I'm going through these comments? Yes, absolutely. I would have told them the truth nicely. Yeah. I mean, we've talked about that before on the show, saying things in love, because you don't have to say things nasty. You don't have to tell somebody off and give them a piece of your mind per se, but you can get that person a piece of your mind because these are your thoughts. So you're free to express your thoughts, the way that you express them to that person. and to get your point across. And that kind of leads after I'll ask Tamika if she wants to say something, and I'll go into something else that I wanted to say about being 16 or just those teenage years, really. We're going to talk about that. It's another point. And Dakota Brody said the 16 me would take more chances. Yeah, that's a very good point, Dakota Brody. Anybody want to elaborate on that? Taking more chances also builds your confidence in that area. If you think about it, the more chances you take, the more confident you are, the less you worry about failing, because I'm sure in taking all those different chances, you're going to fail. You're going to flop at some point. And I think the more that I hate to say it like this, but it's the truth. The more you fail, the less afraid you are to fail. Because you already, I'm not a perfect human being. All of us are imperfect, every last one of us. So you have to at some point come to the conclusion that I'm imperfect, therefore I'm going to do things that are imperfect. And you would just have to continue to try to do those things better. And whatever it is you want to do in life or at that moment, just try to do it. Because I always tell people, you fail if you don't try, because you never know what you can do until you try it. If you do something and it doesn't work out the way you plan, so what? Go on to the next thing. We only have one life to live. You might as well make the best of it. And I always tell people that know me, or my kids especially, I never wanted to live with regrets. When I was younger, I feel like I did miss a couple things because I was so busy trying to be the obedient child, so busy trying to be the obedient child that I may have kind of skipped around a couple of things that I wanted to do, but not much, just some things. I might have said something and just got corrected. But as an adult now, if it's something that I want to pursue and something that I have interest in, I'll just do it. And for me, the only way I fail is to not try. If I try and it blows up in my face, oh well, back to something else. I'll try something else. So I like the fact that Dakota said that and shared it. Thank you very much, Dakota. Tamika, you look like, I don't know.
Tamika, what are your thoughts, Tamika?
Yeah, what are your thoughts? Frank G said he's
I think that, like, when I was 16, I did a lot of stuff that I probably shouldn't have been doing. My parents are always at work. I thought going to church on Sundays all day was a lot. So the fact that y'all went 3, 4, 5 times a week, that's aggressive. And I actually got a job at McDonald's, so I didn't have to go to church on Sunday. I would work from 5 o'clock in the morning to 1 in the afternoon. And I was like, I guess I can't go. But I think also what you said before, though, when the church doesn't necessarily cater to the youth, right? So then that's what I was missing. So then when I finally started going to church with my friends, it felt better, right? So I wanted to go to church, and I discovered that people wore pants to church. I didn't know that was a thing.
I'm sorry, that people wore what in church? I missed that.
Wore pants to church.
Oh yeah.
Well, I didn't know that. I didn't know that was like women wearing pants.
See, this is a whole nother topic right here. You see,
right? I was just thinking that too. I was like, that's another topic we gotta.
Yeah. That is a whole nother topic that we can address, because I remember when we went to see our church, we were so heavily involved, and we actually liked doing the church activities because we did have fun. And Adrian's over there; she's frozen, but she's probably like, We had fun. And I can remember when we went to this church, and I had on some. Do you all remember those culottes, like the shorts that were in style? Remember Kwame and the polka dot phase, the whole thing. We wore polka dots and all that. And I had that on when I went to this church. Well, at our church, you could wear pants, you could wear shorts, you could wear whatever. We went to this other particular church, and I remember sitting down, and this is a whole nother topic, so I'll make it quick. Sitting down next to this elderly lady, and she said, "Now, honey, you know you're not supposed to come in here with that on." And I was like, okay, well, my uncle, he's the pastor of our church, and he allows us to wear this. So, and I said, my mom, she's sitting right there, and she let me wear this. So, so I was just like, so I'm sorry if, you have a problem with it, but I got the pass, basically. So yeah, I know that is a thing for some places to make. And again, I said we can come back, ladies, and talk about that another time. And if you all are in the chat, you come back for that conversation, because that will probably be a hot topic. Okay, so we're going to Frank G say he speaks the truth. Derek's Journey said, I pretty much blurred everything out now. I wish I would have done it back then. Okay, I would have told myself when life gets tough, don't ever give up. Don't ever give up. Don't ever surrender, no matter what. Yeah, Derek, because you are very motivational. I can see you had that go getter spirit, and that's definitely where I would have said. I feel like I had that when I was younger, but I think I've always been the type of person that said, I want to. At this point, I'm saying at this age, I don't know. At 16, I think I just kind of, I was very active and I did things, but I just kind of went with the flow. I didn't really, like I said, ruffle a whole lot of feathers. That I know of. Samira says the red flags is an ex. Now who is in a very toxic relationship with Andrew. I would definitely have told them to kick rocks because I held on to my feelings to keep friends. Yes. Rocks. Kick rocks. And to any young girl that's listening, you do not have to please that boyfriend. The person you need to please is yourself. Mm-hmm. Remember that. And see, I had the ladies on this panel shaking their head because that person will probably not even be around. Probably. I know I hear some people who have these sweethearts, but more than likely, they're not going to even be around that next year, that month, that whatever. So you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket, is what I'm saying. You want to make the best decisions for yourself, and you want to be focused. You want to have goals. You want to follow your dreams. You want to pursue different things. And at that age, I don't know. I know I was in a relationship. Well, I say that loosely. I was not in a relationship, but I had friends, and to be committed at that young age and looking back, was more just kind of a cutesy thing. I mean, I know some people get really heavily involved when they're, at their age and they're trying to date, but really, if you look back and think about it, you could have probably done without that relationship, or what you call that relationship. So I don't know. I'm one to think that if I could go back to my 16-year-old I established some pretty good relationships with people then, but I don't know. I told my girls now, focus on you, focus on what you need to do in your goals. That'll come later on in life. Later, you don't need to worry about that right now. That's a whole nother complexity that you do not need. Yeah. Okay, Derek said, and you ladies, if you want to chime in after, I'll read Derek's comment. The reason why I would say those things to myself is because I basically gave up at 18. Okay, Derek, sorry to hear that. Maybe, yeah. Huh. Yeah, I would like to circle the hey, Armstrong, how are you? Everybody's saying hi to him. Derek, so I'm glad to see, Derek, that from what I see, you are, very motivational, and you seem like you have it. And again, I'm just here for YouTube, so I can't even, pinpoint what your life looks like, but I'm glad to see that you've gotten it together, or that you say you've gotten it together. So you look pretty happy to me when I see you in the videos, and I'm not saying that, that everything is perfect on your end. It's not perfect on my end, but I think that daily and as we get older, we learn not to make the same mistakes most of us do, and we learn how to deal with situations differently. I mean, you're more mature anyway, and I think you're more developed. You've had experience, and you have experience under your belt, so you can make different decisions. So I'm glad, Derek, that everything is coming together for you. Hi, Angela. How are you? Tay Weezy's like.
It's interesting that the stages of life and what you experience, and going through like the teen stage, and then the 20s and early 20 stage, and the 30 stage, like every stage of life is so different, and you learn from the prior stage that you were in, going into your next one, and then you take from that stage to the next stage of your life, because now, like like we're saying, we're in our the age we are and talking about 16 now. At 16, of course, we didn't know this. We thought we were living our best life. Well, and some people were living a hard, it was good, bad, hard, whatever. And people have different stories at 16. That's so interesting to hear, but we all learned from it. We grew from it, and we're stronger because of it. And now we can see, at our age now, looking back at 16, what we would have done differently, because, we try to shed that wisdom to other people, to kids that are 16 now, and to people who are listening today. And I think it's so great that we're sharing, our thoughts on what we would have said to our 16-year-old selves, because it could help teenagers right now. Because I think about a lot of 16-year-olds now that are in with my oldest, and it's a lot of them that are super serious, like very competitive, overly stressed out, overwhelmed. They put a lot of, pressure on themselves. And you're just like, I know I think Fishy Jamia I think she said it, maybe someone else, I'm sorry. Said, no, it was someone else, she would tell herself to like calm down.
Heather Hunter Johnson.
Heather, yes, she said that. So I know what she mean by just, by looking at some 16-year-olds now. I'm like, dang, like you are a little too serious, and but they don't see that. They just, they know what they want. They're fighting and striving to what they want. And there's nothing wrong with that, because they're in it at the moment, but they'll realize later on that they're like, man, I didn't even have to do so much. But all of those stages, taught us what we know now, looking back, like, man, all that was just like a vapor. That moment was like a vapor. Now it's gone.
Yeah, it was a vapor. And I think if you look back, you can look at each age group. I mean, as you get older, you can look back and say, in my 20s, I would have even done something differently. But I agree with you, Adrian. 16-year-olds, I feel like we didn't have as many stressors. I almost feel like I was a little bit more, not carefree, because we did have structure, but I didn't carry the weight of the world on my shoulders. And I even look at my daughters and they're like, oh, I got to study for the SAT. They're studying way in advance. They're worried about these having advanced AP classes, and I'm like, man, I had a couple honors classes, but if I didn't have an honors class, believe you me, I wouldn't have stressed out about it. I would have been fine just taking whatever trigonometry,
prep courses.
Yeah,
I was good with that. It was like, okay, we're doing great. College prep, right?
College prep. Thank you very much, because we could choose between college prep, a tech, and what was it, like food or something else, but I was like, okay, I'm in college prep. I'm good. Like, I'll take these classes, but I wasn't like really stressed out about it. And I don't know if it was because our parents had a hand. They did have a hand in that, but they didn't really stress us. As long as we came home with good grades and did what we were supposed to do, they were fine. I see that it's 9:52. I wanted to look at some of these comments, but I also want you all to think about something else I wrote down. It was one of my number one points. When you're 16, when you're that age, saying no. I know a lot of people that are in that age group have, and not only them, some adults do too. As an adult, you might have an issue with saying no to somebody. And I just wanted to say to anybody listening that you are allowed to say no. If it's something you do not want to be a part of, don't feel stressed to go and be actively engaged in whatever it is that people are trying to do. If you don't want to do it, just say no, back out. Because let me tell you what, you don't want to say yes to things and be a part of something that you really didn't want to be a part of. Now you're miserable because you're there. And what you should have just said was, no, I don't want to do it. Or whatever the situation is that requires a no. No is powerful. And no, you're not the booger bear. You're not being mean just because you say no. You can use no. So what do you two ladies think about that? The use of the word no? Because as I said, I've had conversations with my daughters and other young ladies that say, it's just hard for me to say no sometimes. So what do you think?
I think people make you feel bad for saying no, but you have to stand your ground. And no is a complete sentence. You don't have to give a reason.
Period.
I don't want to. I will not.
Like that.
I love it. But no, period.
But it's hard when especially when you're younger, and if it's someone that's older, you might feel a pressure, like, this is an adult, right? Because you're 16. But just stand on it and just know that the adults in your life will back you up. And that's it. And if you learn that younger, I wish I had learned that younger. I mean, I would say no, but I felt bad about it. And so then I would circle back and say, okay, well, but now, it's not happening.
Now it just rolls off your tongue, doesn't it?
Feel how you feel about it.
Those 16-year-olds who are good, they will be here at one point, huh? It's so easy to say. You'd be like,
yes,
that'd be a no, or no, and just roll out.
It's a hard no.
It's a hard no. 16-year-olds or anybody who is above the age of 16, don't feel bad about saying your no. You have the right to say no to whatever it is that you want to say no to, because the other person may or may not, but more than likely, if they want to say no, it'll roll right off their tongue. But you can't be so busy people pleasing or trying to make sure that the waters aren't waving or ruffled. I can't even get my words out about that. But you don't want to forsake your happiness trying to please somebody else just by saying and saying yes. And I mean, it's so many times that a couple of times I could have kicked myself like, why did you say yes? You don't want to do it now, Andrea. Now, please. Andrea, back then, I would have said yes and be like, oh, now I got to do this. I got that to do. I got this to do. I got to do this. I got that. 100 things to do now. No. Yeah. Sorry you feel that way. Or not sorry. I don't even say sorry.
That full sentence. No.
No, period. A capital N, lowercase no, or it could be a capital no, period. That's the end of the sentence. I don't have to give you a reason. I don't have to feel bad about it. Whatever the situation, so I agree 100% with Tamika. And I see that it's 9:56. Everybody, hi, Tam and Erie Frog. I see that you came in. Thank you for coming in. Jay Jordan, thank you for sharing, liking, and sharing. And everybody is speaking. Ladies, I told you that I put a timer on. So everybody's basically just speaking in the chat. Is there anything that the two of you would like to add to, what would you say to your 16-year-old self? If you could say one sentence or one last remark to any girl that's listening that is in that place in life and they're just wondering, which way do I go? What do I say? What would you tell that person? What would you tell them if you feel comfortable doing that? Oh, I see a good comment too right here. I'll go to it while, if you like, or we can just say this comment. Dakota Brody said, confusion is a part of
my gosh.
And I was actually about to read it. Oh my goodness. Do you all know
why
that
did I marry that?
It had to be my brother too. Do you all know what this comment? I know the two of you do. I know Adrian does. Anybody in the comment section? Jay Jordan, you should.
Right now.
Is there anybody that knows what he's referencing or what he's quoting? We do, because we watch this movie so much. Remember VHS tapes, you all? The tape out of this VHS used to come out, and we used to actually fix it so that we can watch the movie. Didn't we, Adrian?
Yes.
We used to watch, and my father would come in and be like, "You watching that movie again?" Yes. And we knew all the words. So thank you for that moment, Dakota Brody.
I'm telling you. Lord,
yes. So we have 3 minutes, ladies.
Okay, so I would tell my 16-year-old self, the sky's the limit, because I think that I limited myself on a lot of things at 16 because I was either, afraid of failing, or I thought I wasn't good enough. I guess that kind of goes together, kind of, right? If you don't think you're good enough, you think you will fail. So you don't take the chances, as Dakota Brody said. He would have taken more chances. I think that I would not have given myself limitations. I would have been like, oh, I can be president. I don't know. But whatever, I don't know about president. I don't know if I ever want to be president, but you know what I'm saying? Like I would have, but some people do, but in my mind, I wasn't thinking that. I don't know.
So you would have just
taken the top. But I would have taken more chances. I would not have limited myself on a lot of things. And I think if that were the case, if I would not have, it would have changed some of my choices in high school, and I would have done different things in my life for college, career-wise. I would have done differently. So I think I was kind of like trying to figure it out in college. Yeah. And it was because I think I limited myself on things. So.
Okay, that's a very good answer. I think
so that the sky's the limit, right? So you just go on the top. What you think you would want to do, go for it. Don't say, maybe I can't achieve that. Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Yes, you can. That was Barack Obama, wasn't it?
Oh, was it?
Yes. Yes, you can. Oh, it was also in the movie. Yes, you can. See, you could have been president. Yes, we can. Tamika?
I would have wanted that.
I would say that just relax. Everything's going to go exactly the way it's supposed to go. You don't have to figure it out right now. It'll happen the way it's supposed to. Just keep working. You fail, keep going. Try again.
Very good. I love it, ladies. Those are very
Yeah.
Powerful statements and really good advice. I love it. I like what both of you said. I would just add, also, don't be so concerned about what others think of you, because people have fleeting thoughts all the time. One minute they like you, one minute they don't. I mean, this is just life in general at that age. And now, one minute they think you're the best, another minute they think you just whatever, nothing. So I would say, whatever it is you think about yourself, and it ties in with what Adrienne and Tamika said, think the best of yourself, and always think that you can achieve whatever it is that you're setting your mind to. And don't worry about the naysayers. Don't worry about people who don't believe in you. You just got to kind of have tunnel vision. We talked about young people doing that now. So you're just don't concern yourself with the opinions of others, is what I would say. Don't concern yourself with the opinions of others. What do you think? What do you think about yourself? Now, if you have low self-esteem and you feel like you can't, then that's something that you have to work on. So I just say, if you're in that space, just think about things you can do to make yourself better. And I mean, mentally, physically, spiritually, whatever it is that you're trying to, whatever goals you're trying to achieve. So Derek, and then we're going to close out because I know Adrienne has somewhere to be, and I said an hour. Derek says, definitely not perfect, but I'm not letting the demons win anymore. And Erie Frog said, don't let them win. That's right, Derek. Don't let them win. You're doing great. Keep going, whatever it is. And I see you. You have a whole tribe behind you. So you know what? If you need to reach out to me or anybody, feel free. I'm here. Erie Frog said, I fight with demons every day. Same Erie Frog. Okay, so
the enemy is here to attack every day.
Every day, yep. And if you have to, pray, say a prayer. I don't know how many religious people I have. I know it's quite a few over here, but just say a little prayer, and whatever it is that you have to get yourself out of that mindset. For some of you, it's exercise, and for some of you, it's spending time with family, or whatever it is that puts you in that happy space. Try to do more of that. I'm fighting them with you, my friend. Okay. Samira's laughing. Never give up. Never surrender. No matter what. I say no all the time. Yeah. It should get to the point where it's so easy to roll off your tongue that you don't even think about it anymore. No. And you keep carrying on with your life.
And that's how you say it. Is that how you say it, Andrea?
Oh, no. Yes. No.
Like a toddler. No.
That's right. I say no. And I keep on moving. Oh, you didn't hear it clear enough? No. What did our dad used to say? Did you hear the words that were coming out of my mouth? So,
oh my gosh.
There you go. If you didn't hear it, I'm sorry for you. But no is no. That's it. No is a complete sentence. That's right, Jamie. No is a complete sentence. Frank G said he says it all the time. And Derek's journey, and I think we're getting to the end, ladies. So I yell no all the time at work when they give me more work, but I still have to do it. But I still like yelling through it because it makes everyone laugh, including myself. I like that, Derek. I would love to hear you say no really loud and if it echoes up. Really
start yelling.
Everybody, you love that Tam Tam? Yeah, me too. This was a great conversation, ladies. Jamie, I need to tell you, thank you for jumping in as a moderator. Again, I completely forgot you were on it, but you jumped in and you did your job. So I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Jamie.
Thank you, Jamie. You did an awesome job. Everybody in the comments, you did a lovely job just engaging and keeping the conversation going. So we appreciate that. Tamika and Adrienne, you already know how I feel about you. Yay, Tamika, this is her first time. Yes, good job, sis. Everybody did a wonderful job. I love conversations like this that we can just kind of learn from each other and, just talk about the real, what's really happening and telling people, giving tips and just talking about. Lovely Samira says, amazing conversation. Can't wait to listen to more. Thank you. You join us anytime you see us pop. Just come on over. We're a family over here. And Derek said, absolutely great live. Thank you, Derek. Thank you, Jamie, for the hearts.
Thank you, guys.
Everybody share. Thank you always, Tam Tam. And I think that's it. Before we go out, Adrienne, if you can give me 2 minutes, because I just want to meet you and Tamika to tell everybody where you can be found. This is the time, Tamika, to you all. I don't want to do it for her. I want her to tell because she has her own special way of doing it. She's going to tell you.
My own special way?
Oh, yes. In fact, let me see what I could do. Yes, you have your own special way to tell the people
Oh, not on a screen by myself. That's crazy.
I was trying.
She's
I
so
guess that's
sad.
the
No, you
it's
can't
not going.
figure it out. It's fine. It's fine.
I can't figure it
Fine.
out, you all. I thought I had a special surprise, but it blew up in my face.
You can find me on my business Instagram page is Vinspired_curations. Well, can we put in the chat or something because the
Yes, everybody, I'll go back after this live and I'll add their. Can you drop the host links? Yeah, I will probably disappear. I'm scared to do it, but they'll tell you, Tam, she's going to tell you exactly where she is. But also, you all, if you go back to this live after everything is over and done, I'll add it in the description. I'll put all their information in the description. I failed to do that before because I was trying to do everything through StreamYard and jump on, but that's my fault. So I will add their information later. But Tamika, tell them where they can find you because we want the people to find you.
Yeah, so on Instagram, Vinspired_curations. I sell wine accessories and custom cups. So yeah, you can find me there. Website coming soon.
You know what? While you're talking to me, I just thought about it. I have my cell phone, you all, right here. So I'm going to try to drop her link as they're telling you all, where you can find them, basically. So, Tamika, did you tell them you're on TikTok as well, Tamika, and Facebook and all those things?
I was looking up the name of the TikTok. And on TikTok, I am Vinspired Creation. So it's VINSPIRD. There would normally be an apostrophe, but they don't accept that. And Creation. So that's on TikTok, Vinspired Creations, and on IG, Vinspired_curations. CURATIONS.
I'm going to drop her link if I can.
You want me to do it?
Yeah, if you can. I think you have it already put up. Can you drop it in the chat? If you can, Tamika, go ahead because that'll help me out because I'm having some difficulties over here, you guys. Sorry. So if you can drop it, let me know. Tam, thank you for reminding me of that. Okay, no problem. Lovely Samira says I could use some accessories. Oh yeah, and Samira, lovely Samira. If you go over there, you'll see she does a wonderful job. If you like glitter, sparkles.
I love glitter.
We love glitter. Glitter is our friend. And when she made me something, I said be extra heavy on the glitter because I wanted to sparkle. I wanted people to say, "Oh, there she is," and there she is leaving. So I want the sparkle.
And if you see something you like, you can just DM me and we can talk about it. I don't have my website up just yet.
But you can find her online. So that's all social media. So Did you finish, Tamika? I don't want to cut you off. Did you give the people all the places? Glitter is best, Jamie. I agree. Yeah. Samira says she loves your name. Loves the name.
Oh, thank you. I'm also on Facebook. It's Vinspired on Facebook. That's it. All I have.
Okay. Adrian, would you like to tell the people where to find you?
Oh, they know where to find me. They find me with you.
That's right. You all know that because Jamie definitely knows that. She told the people. She told the people.
You will find me with Andrea with doing a live. That's where you'll find me.
That's right.
You can find me on Instagram at Adrian Brody. I'm on there. I do my little snippets of encouragement, but that's it.
Okay, Tamika, were you able to drop your link or not in the chat?
Yeah, I put them both in. I put them separately. Yeah, so it popped under Tamika B. Yeah.
Okay, Tamika B. And you all, I can drop Adrian's if I get the chance, but I just wanted to let's see if I can find her. Did either of you ladies want to?
I can say this too though. If you live in Los Angeles, in the Valley area, we'll put a link on there too. You can find me for my sign business. But
yes,
we'll put that on there.
I will drop that for you right now. I should have it. Sign Gypsy right here. Okay, and this way you can find these lovely ladies if you and I'm going to drop it in the link right now. If you want to connect with them outside of here, then outside of Geeky Girls Journal, then there you have it. You have their information. And if you can't get to their page, to their social media platforms for some reason, I don't see why you should have a problem. I just dropped Adrian's in Geeky Girls Journal. Go there. If you have birthday, you all know those birthday signs that people put out in the yard. That's her. Those big old birthday signs with the cakes and all those things. We want to get real fancy. That's what she does. So I know a lot of you are celebrating birthdays, retirement, all whatever, baby showers, whatever you have going on. So you make sure you go
get a sign and get some wine and wine accessories.
Yes.
Wine accessories. A lot of people like to wind down. There you go. She's your girl. If you all are looking for books for your daughters or motivational attire, I'm your girl. So
I think there you go.
So we have it all covered.
Wine and book and live. It's too much. You got too much going on Friday, on weekends. Any day, huh? Any day. Take your pick.
Yes. Oh, thank you, Jamie. There's a link, and Adrian's is there. Derek, you too. Hey, Miss Nita Boo, how you doing today, girl? See, you're probably gonna have to catch the replay because I told them I'll be out at 10, a little after 10. So we're going to wish everybody well, and we thank you all for coming in. Thank you all for engaging. Again, I love to thank my beautiful guests, my two sisters. This is another one of my ride or die, members of the Crew Writing Center. I only got one, two, three, four. My one friend, you all know my one friend. Then there's Star, then Adrian, and this is Tamika. There we go. That's the end of the story. Period. So if you met them, they have stories for you, and they're giving you insight, into my life. So welcome, and my husband and my children. But I'm just talking about my girls, my boos. So anyway, all right. Derek said, "I got you guys. Happy Saturday, Miss." Nita says, thank you. Oh, thank you, Jamia. So sweet. Jamia is doing her job. She's doing her job. And Dakota Brody, and I think we're going to be caught up so we can tell everybody farewell, or what do you say? Ciao, ciao.
Good night, dreamers. Good night, dreamers. He just learned that.
I just love it. I love him. You can catch Dakota Brody at Adrian Brody, at sign
right? Okay. Oh, I am, he is.
She is, whatever she is him. So she is he is her. Okay, well, again, thank everybody for coming in. We went a little bit over, but it's perfect because this was a great conversation. Thank you all for joining us again. And we're going to say good night. Enjoy your night. Make sure you catch this replay if you haven't seen it or if you just came in, and share it. Share it so everybody can see it in the comments. Okay, anything else, Tamika?
Nope. Thank you for coming. Have a good night.
Thank you for coming. Have a good night, like Russell Simmons said. All right. Bye, everybody.
Good night.
Enjoy your night.